Hello YouTubers, this is Hammy Technoid here, and today we are looking at one of my most recent eBay acquisitions. When I say recent, I mean I just got it yesterday, but what we are looking at here, this is like a time traveling video. We're going back in time. This is a cassette deck that was made back in 1969. It is the Harman Kardon CAD-4, more commonly called the CAD-4, and this was one of the first ever high fidelity type cassette decks available to the general public in stereo. You know, it wasn't a true high fidelity because its high frequencies only went out to 12.5 kilohertz, but it was one of the best at the time. And this one, you know, it came out in around 1969, and back then they brought a price of $159 back in 1969. So this was a top model available back then. And when I was 16, I bought one. I had one of these when I was 16. I bought it back in 1969, shortly after they first came out. And what makes these so unique is that they are, you know, they were one of the first machines to have a servo-controlled motor, you know. But even so, even though that it was one of the best machines available at the time, it still had a lot of drawbacks and flaws in it that were later ironed out by other manufacturers and Harman Kardon as well. But yeah, let me turn it on here and show you what happens. There's the power switch. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, and then the little light over the meter comes on. Okay, and there's a panel here of lights, and I'm going to show you what happens when you engage the pause or any of the motor functions. A little light comes on and says motor, and you can kind of hear it running in there. You know, the machine being, you know, as old as it is, it's a wonder it doesn't make any more noise. But yeah, as long as the motor is running, that little motor light is going to be on. Now I'm going to hit stop and take it off of pause, and eventually the motor light will click off or shut off because the motor doesn't need to run anymore. And this lid, yeah, there the motor light went out. The lid is for, you know, keeping the dust off the cassettes in there. I just engaged the motor again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this cassette in there. And the one thing about the decks back then, or this particular deck, was it could only record and handle on normal tape, type 1 tapes. You know, this was back before there was even chromium tapes out. Chromium tapes had just started to come out, and this machine wasn't ready to record on them. It could only record on normal tapes. So yeah, what you would do is you put it in pause and hit play, and this model, you can see it's spinning, it's going, the tape is going, and it has a test tone on it and some music, or music I should say. It might be a test tone, I'm not sure, but you can see it's kind of out of calibration. The needles were off a bit, so yeah, the calibration on this needs to be addressed, and I've got a service manual on order. I'm awaiting for that, so I'm going to do some tweaking on it and repairing. And another thing, that even though this machine looks on the outside that it is pristine, almost mint, what is, you know, there should be a signal on there playing, but I guess it doesn't. And see, one of the issues it has is I can't fast forward. If I press fast forward, there, nothing happens. So the gears don't engage for fast forward, and I'm believing it might be a belt issue. So I've got a belt kit on order as well. But the motor light lights up when the motor is running, and if you've got it set to record, you hit record and play, and it erases, but there's a light that comes on saying it's in record mode. See, it's got that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then you've got, of course, your left and right levels for recording, and a pause control, and then you just hit stop. Just hit stop. Okay, and it's a pretty pretty, I don't know, halfway robust, halfway frail transport. Yeah, there's the eject. Okay. Take the tape out. And you see, so I can't rewind or fast forward any tapes in this, and it shut the motor off. So yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm going to restore it, bring it back up to its best possible conditions. The motor noise, I don't know if I'll be able to do anything about that. After all, it is a motor that's as old as 1969. That's pretty old. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this eBay acquisition I got, and I'll keep you updated on any repairs, anything that happens with it, and hopefully I have be able to play some tapes through it and show you how well it performs once it's rewinding, fast forwarding, and other things. I'll hook it up to a noise reduction device and see how it works through that. So until later, see you for now.